it's a little shooting game that I've prepared, and it's really nice. There's a tutorial on the Epic side that teaches you all the basics of how to get started with the Unreal Engine. So it's nice to literally get talked through the whole process from an empty project, how you set up the controllers, the controls for it, and then how you do skeletons and how you do especially the logic, how you transition from one animation block to another. They have a really swanky system there called blend spaces that literally, depending on where you push the joystick, it would then transition seamlessly into another pole. So that's very, very cleverly done there. And that tutorial talks you through basically everything. And I wanted to A, show you that, and B, adjust the camera there a little bit and see if I can remember how to do that. It's slightly tricky. It's a really what happened here? Am I wearing it? This is very cool. I don't even know what it is. Oh, I see. Because my birthday. Is it very good? Very good. Yes. Good thing the circle crops that right out. How about that? What made you come up with that? So funny. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't very festive. You're right. I need to be more festive there. No, absolutely. Hexagon crashing is always a good sign of let's abandon it for something that was written within the last 20 years at least, rather than something that, before that. So crazy. Restore, don't restore. That's cool. So let's see. Thank you so much, Julia. Julia says hello, by the way. So funny. So let me go and start that up. I think I can also, before I completely totally die here, can I also do that in full screen? Yes, there we go. So that's me dying. So the game doesn't do much yet. It's just got a lot of pink guys, and I've got a massive gun. And so this is how the poses kind of transition from sideways walk to forward walk, depending on which direction I shoot in. And that's kind of cool. It's got audio as well. It's a few bugs I need to iron out with the camera here. So this is what I've been able to piece together. And these guys, of course, they die as well if I shoot them several times here. And they're all, evil guys, of course. So sadly, there's always 5 in the scene, so I can dictate that with a parameter. And I've added a little point light to the bullet, which is why there's a traveling light when I shoot. So the bullet's a projectile, is a 3D object, and that just gets created and spawned and flies off into the direction that I'm pointing the gun. A little bit like the journey of the Prairie King. I'm also the sound designer on this, by the way, so I've made both the gun sound, which goes pew, and then I've also made the sound. That's, that was all me. Indeed, that was Ahsoka, what's her name? Ahsoka Tano, exactly. She would fit right in here. So one thing that I'm not happy with is the camera, and I wanted to adjust that to be pointing more from a top perspective, perhaps not completely from the top, but kind of, I'll see what I can do. And I don't know much about Unreal Engine, so, I'm thinking this could go horribly wrong, of course. And then once we've done that, we can download the Cinti assets and just have a quick look at them. That's my plan. I wanted to do that anyway, and I thought, it's a good idea if we can do that together. Oh yes, Joe, we wanted to do that. A T-shirt that has literally just the mug on it. Yes, that's a good idea. I think we should do that. I think that's a great idea. So, camera, yes. I believe that is in the hero character, I think. Don't quote me on it. Yeah, there we go. This is the camera. And I think the camera is parented to something called a selfie stick. And that's a component that gets rid of following the character completely. So usually it's like any other 3D application. If you parent something directly to this thing here, which is this whole capsule thing, it's kind of a collision box in which the character sits. So anything that hits the character or overlaps with the character isn't actually hitting the character mesh itself. It hits the capsule around it because it's cheaper to calculate that. And if I were to parent something to that directly, it would literally do exactly what the character does, even with an offset. But the selfie stick component here, I think it's called a spring arm, really. Selfie stick's just the name I've given it. The component splits out certain camera settings down here. So it doesn't necessarily inherit everything. It only inherits literally being behind the character, or in our case, slightly overhead of the character. So I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to put the camera slightly more above it. And I think if I go take that out of here, then is it true that if I go and do that, I could literally just go and see this? No, I think that was something. Do I need to do something like simulate? Man, I wish I could. I wish I knew. Is it play? No, that's not it. Well, we'll just eyeball it and see what happens. There was a way that I could literally get a live preview of an inset camera. I forgot how to do that. So much to this thing, you know. So we'll make it higher, I guess, and I'll make it more overhead. Like that, pointing it down more. Don't know if that looks cool or not. We have to literally go and play the game. I think there was another kind of idea, another way to do this. Yeah, I can probably go further back and even further overhead so that it has more of an idea of what we've got in Stardew Valley. So be further away, be further over here, and be even more pointy down. Like maybe not completely pointy down, but you know, something along the lines of that. Is that cool? Don't know. What is for dinner tonight? Tell us. There we go. That could work. Yeah, so now it's a bit like the journey of the Prairie King, isn't it? It's almost like a 2D shooter now. See if I can get to 10 million points, huh? Yes, but I'm really pleased about this because it's not so much because it's a fun game. I mean, it's you know, the characters kind of dig into the floor when they die, so that needs a bit of work. But it brings everything together that you really need. How do you make it so that when a character approaches you, that your health goes down, for example, that you transition to a kind of a falling over animation when your health goes down, that you in fact take off health. And you know that you make other characters disappear and respawn as soon as they leave the game. How do you keep track of all that logic? So I've learned all that over the last week. I'm super pleased about this. So now it's kind of knowing those principles. Now it's kind of up to me to build this same project 5 more times, take meticulous notes so that I know exactly how to do this from like by heart, and then I can get on with some more actual stuff using the Cinti assets, or maybe even the Brian character. I'm kind of liking that idea. And you know, and they're literally. I remember recording the sound effects for the Game Maker game I was using, the Game Maker Studio game. And I remember Julia was laughing when I did this. I recorded them in the bedroom, actually. Julia was here working. I was sitting over in the bedroom typing on my keyboard. I was doing some coding there. And eventually I just recorded myself with a super tiny headphone microphone just going pew, and that was it. Those were the sound effects.